SuperTalk Mississippi Media Production.
I'm Steve Azar, and I'm on the other side of the microphone, meaning I'm asking the questions this time, and oh, have mercy for the airwaves. I spent 20 years in Music City, wrote and made some hits, traveled the world, and then moved my family back to the birthplace of American music and where the magnolia trees prosper. And now every time I put my feet on Mississippi soil, when I'm off the road, well, I'm at peace. On this show, it's all about hearing the stories straight from the mouths of the friends I've made along the way, their journey to success. Heck, there might be someone on I don't even know, but you know how us Mississippi types are. We tend to take well to new company. In a Mississippi Minute, all 60 of them. I'm Steve Azar. It's just like that muddy river, moving slow. Ain't no worries, it's how life goes, baby. In a Mississippi Minute. That's right.
Hey folks, time for another In a Mississippi Minute. Grateful for you tuning in. As always, I'll never get tired of saying that. I hope you guys believe me. And also believe me, there are a lot of rock star things to do right here on our hallowed ground we call Mississippi. Go to visitmississippi.org. All right, always thrilled to revisit with my old pal today right in front of you. Heisman Trophy winner from the University of Miami Hurricanes. It's a big year. I was trying to meet up and hang with eat at his favorite hot spot in Mississippi, Como Steakhouse in Como, Mississippi. While flying in, he always comes in and calls his Touchdown Radio Network Game of the Week. He made it to Oxford twice this year, I believe. I saw him once. Or was it this year or last year? We'll figure it out. All I know is...
You saw me last year.
Last year. I can't keep up with the years. All I know is it feels like yesterday.
I saw an Azar, but it was your brother and your sister.
Oh, yeah. You went to dinner with them. Because they're close. They live right by Como.
Joe always makes sure to see me. You got too much stuff going on.
I'm so far away. Anyway, you do make Como, Mississippi, and as a stop, you love Como Steakhouse. Besides this and loving steak and loving his Italian food, and besides winning the Heisman Trophy, which is, the best player in college football, he also won the Walter Camp Award, the Maxwell Award, the Johnny Unitas Award, and the Chick Harley Award. That means, no doubt, best player in college football for the University of Miami back in his day. What a career, what a friend. So let's do it with old number 13, Touchdown Radio's network founder, Gino Torretta. Gino.
What's up, Steve?
I
saw Ole Miss this year 4 times. Broadcasted 3 of their games, 2 in Oxford, and then actually did the Georgia, the Ole Miss at Georgia game.
Wow!
So I got to see Chambliss's first start against Arkansas, which they didn't tell us that Simmons wasn't playing until right before kickoff, and I'm like, who is Chambliss? And I promptly learned, and I basically said on the air, I'm like, listen, I don't know how good Simmons is, but I think he just got Wally pipped, and he's not going to be getting back out there on that.
Could you tell?
That field.
I could tell immediately. I'm just saying. And as the games went on, and obviously he started playing bigger games, could you tell right away, Gino?
Immediately. Listen, having thrown the ball a few times in my day, I can tell if a guy can spin it. He was an athlete. He was making good decisions. And I was just like, all right, he's playing that well. They're winning. And you know how coaches are. That coaches are not going to go and switch a quarterback if you got a guy that's hot and the team's winning games. And I was like, he's only going to get better. This was week 3, I think, was the Arkansas start. So I was like, he's only going to get better. There is no way that he's coming out. And I was right. I just, it was sad. I would say this, you root for kids and, listen, he played his heart out against Miami in the Fiesta Bowl. And you could tell he knew that was his last game if he didn't get a waiver, and you could tell how heartbroken he was. But hell of a story, hell of a player. And my buddy was funny that John Glenn, who was spotting for us, and he goes, you said something. He goes, it resonated. He goes, you score 50 plus touchdowns in A-League. I don't give a crap if it's high school. You're a damn good quarterback, and that's basically what he did, last season. And then,
you think about like golfers coming off the Korn Ferry Tour, immediately they're winning on the PGA Tour. So, winning's winning, right? And the level of play on the Korn Ferry Tour and golf to the PGA, and it's a fine line, especially those top 25 guys. So this kid was used to winning. Obviously, Ferris State sounds like it's a breeding ground for winning. And,
I guess you just don't, you know what I mean? If you've won, you're not ever intimidated. Just like, like you talk about in golf, guy wins on the Korn Ferry Tour, you're still playing the best players of your age group, and you're not intimidated by the moment. And I think that, listen, we've all seen great golfers that, they are phenomenal and they're great, but you get in that moment and maybe it's just one shot. And then really that's just the difference in winning and not winning. And I think that, he was phenomenal this year. And it was fun to watch. It was really fun to watch to see them as much as I did this season.
When this airs, the game's going to be already over. So you're prophesizing right now. Okay. You get your prophet hat on. Okay. Mendoza, and Beck, both very God-fearing, very vocal about that, seem to have their heads on straight. And they're both playing great football right now. Where do you see this game going? How do you see it playing out?
Listen, I think Mendoza is a phenomenal story. He's a great kid. He's a wonderful addition to the Heisman fraternity. I remember seeing him broadcasting. You talk about, like, did you know right away? Mm-hmm. And I remember broadcasting USC at Cal, and Fernando Mendoza was a freshman, and it was his first start, I think, out there at Cal. And the first thing I'm like, how the hell did this kid get out of Miami and he's starting at Cal? And then I'm watching him, and it was just like pinpoint accuracy. And
even as a freshman.
Maybe it wasn't quite as what he's been on right this second, but he took USC. And listen, USC was, a Pac-10, Pac-8, Pac-12. They're the, talent-wise, they're the best, right? And they lost 50-49. And I remember Cal trotted out like the sixth team running back. I mean, you've seen my boards. It wasn't even on my board. I was like, where did they get this dude from? The band?
You found it.
And they ended up going for 2 and not winning. But like, he did it then. And I was just like, wow, this kid's a player. Saw him again when Miami went out to Cal, and that was his sophomore year, and lit up Miami in the first half. Cal got very conservative and ended up losing the game. And Cam Ward made an epic comeback. They were down 4 touchdowns in the third quarter and still won, but no fault of Mendoza, but tough, accurate. And then these last couple playoff games, I mean, it's like the kid doesn't miss. I mean, he moves in the pocket. I think the one thing I was impressed with, I think last game, it looked like Oregon, they did some different things defensively to him in the first 2 drives, and they got to him. And it was like, man, they made some adjustments, and then he just started dissecting them. I mean, I just, listen, you have medical professionals and doctors in your family. Homeboy's a neurosurgeon, and he's the best of the best.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just like, he's gotten more accurate. And, his family's awesome. I mean, obviously they're from down here. They live close to the University of Miami and me. So I've gotten a chance to meet them several times, even when he was at Cal, and, just a great story. So I don't know if I can. I'm rooting for him individually as a person because he's a Heisman Trophy winner, but I'm rooting for my team.
Yeah, your team's been a long time.
Individually, I can root for him individually.
I don't know, man. You're walking a line there. You could get in trouble. His Heisman moment to me was when they were losing to Penn State and that one pass, falling back, getting hit. Yeah. And then the catch was obviously brilliant in the back of the end zone. Do you feel like that moment had to happen for him to win the Heisman? His stats weren't like off the charts, number-wise.
I don't know about that. He had like 36 touchdown passes. I think that was twice as many as I had in a season. So, I mean, it's a different.
It's a different game now. These guys are scoring for. I mean, there's a lot of touchdowns being thrown.
I think it helped. They'll say, okay, he won. That's his signature moment. Mm-hmm. But I thought how he played against Ohio State, because he was getting his ass kicked, and he got his ass kicked on the first play and probably looked like bruised ribs and still was able to come back from that. I think he had put himself I at least thought he'd put himself in a position where it was going to come down to if Julian Sayin had a big game in Ohio State or Fernando Mendoza had a big game, whoever kind of won that game was going to be the winner that season.
Well, let's take a quick break. Gino Torretta, we're getting the scoop. I mean, I hate that we're not doing this and airing this before the game, but I kind of like the idea we were going to predict the winner at the end of this thing, and then we're going to look like, well, we're going to look really good or really bad.
And you're going to know why I don't bet.
Yeah, and I don't bet either. Visit Mississippi.org. You can bet on that, Gino. I can tell you right now, Como Steakhouse, one of those prized possessions that lures people into Mississippi a day early to road trip. Even if you're going to Mississippi State, you've come into Memphis just so you can go to Como, drive all the way to Starkville, race all the way back. This is what you do. This is about Visit Mississippi. We're wearing out the culinary world right now. We'll be right back. I'm Steve Azar. You're on Super Talk Mississippi.
Listen and watch all your favorite SuperTalk Mississippi shows live and on demand. Listen to tons of music. Plus, get the latest breaking news from across the state with the SuperTalk Mississippi app. The SuperTalk Mississippi app. Download the SuperTalk app on your iPhone or Android device now for free. Just search SuperTalk Mississippi in your app store on your mobile device to get everything Mississippi all in one place. The SuperTalk Mississippi app. Get it now.
All right, Gino, watch your language. We're back on the air. Visit Mississippi.org. Oh, yeah. Spend a lot of time just kind of roaming around Mississippi. If you're not from here and you're listening on podcasts or beyond our neighboring states, please road trip in. Eat your way around Mississippi, baby. Visit Mississippi.org. Gino Torretta is my guest today. Besides winning the Heisman Trophy, like I said before, he won them all. I mean, are you kidding me? The Walter Camp Award, the Maxwell Award, the Johnny Unitas Award, the Chick Harley Award. He won everything, and that's unusual. Gino, are you one of the few quarterbacks that ever won all those trophies? Is there a list there?
You know
Short
what?
List?
I think Charlie Ward got me by one award.
The basketball player. What are you talking about?
Because Charlie won, Charlie was a good student. I was a good student. So we won the academic awards. We won all the awards. But there was one that the awards show, I was just like, I can't do it. I had been to too many. I'm like, I can't go.
You just didn't go?
Do a Zoom. I was like, I can't make it. And
so they didn't give it to you?
They gave it to somebody else. Yeah.
What is that?
So
you got to be there. It's not like you can go to 1,000 places, and they didn't have Zoom back then, did they?
Yeah. That is what it is. So I'm one award behind Charlie and that. So that's why I tell people. They're like, well, he won more awards than you. I was like, I didn't go to the award show.
That's
so
a bunch. That makes no sense. You could have sent. Well, she wasn't born yet. Your baby girl wasn't born yet. All right, wait a minute. Let me ask you this. Back up for a second. How many Heisman Trophy winners from Miami?
Two.
Just the two of y'all.
In 86 and
no Testaverde, no Kozar, no Kelly. None of those guys won.
Testaverde won it, and I won it. Yeah.
Oh, Charlie Ward was at Florida State. That's right. What
yeah.
am I thinking?
Yeah.
Charlie Ward, you look at his basketball days. I mean, he ended up playing in the NBA for a while. He was a heck of a hooper.
Yeah.
It's unusual, to be football basketball.
He's a head coach now at FAMU, I believe.
Wow.
Coach. So
That's pretty cool.
No, Charlie's great people. He's like a quiet assassin, I will say. He was just very quiet, wouldn't say two words. I would always just ask his teammates, I'm like, man, does he even say the play or does he say it for him? Yeah, you gotta pull it out of him. But no, great player, great person, and he was a hell of a player. Player, both basketball and football.
Yeah, no. I mean, basketball, when he got drafted in the NBA, I was like, wow, man, but he was great at Florida State on the court. Yeah. Okay, so you got here. What did I read here? I read the last 20 national champions had at least 2 top 10 recruiting classes in the 4 years prior. I believe Miami does and Indiana doesn't. But Indiana's got a bunch of 23-year-olds, which is obviously their average age is 23. Is that true? So where do you see this game playing out? And does that 23-year-old thing with no 5-star players is what I've read. I don't know if what you're reading is true anymore. I can't tell if it's AI generated or not, but you know the scoop on these players. Where do you see this thing playing out, and how are a bunch of 23-year-olds? You and I both know at 23 we were the best athletes we could have ever been, better than 18. There's no doubt. And you, of course, on a world-class level. But me and my friends, we were really in better shape, and we were smarter, and we were more physical in anything we did. And he's got a bunch of guys, and he's got the right guys. You know, so it reminds me of Miracle on Ice with our boy Rizzo and them. How do you see that mattering?
Well, I think it's huge. I think you look what Signetti's done. He's taken a bunch of players from where he was at prior. Their experience. Does age matter? Hell yeah, age matters. I think age matters from, the time when when I look at some players and they're recruited. I got to college, I was 17 years old. Some guys are getting out of high school and they're 19 years old. Would that matter? Heck yeah. Your body's more developed by the time you get to school. Mm-hmm. I think when you're 23 at the tail end of your college career, and these guys have all had an extra year, I think, with COVID. But it definitely matters. I guess I'll take it to personal experience. We played BYU when I was in school. Ty Detmer won the Heisman against us in 1990. We couldn't tackle him. And I remember you look at, we used to get the scouting reports and, date of birth. Here's Joe Smith and whatever. And I'm like, wait a sec. This dude's 23 years old. This dude's 22 years old. And you're like, just like you said, look at your 17, 18-year-old self and look at your 23-year-old self. Yeah. Your body's had 5 years to develop in training table, in all the weight room and all of the money and the sports science that is way better now than when we were in school. And it makes a difference. And it makes a difference not only physically, it makes a difference mentally. I mean, that's compounded knowledge. Indiana plays, I would say, the best team defense I've seen maybe ever, because they may not be, okay, they're not 5 stars or whatever, or they weren't 5 stars when they came out of high school. But, man, they don't miss a gap. They don't jump off sides. They don't make any mistakes. I mean, they are impressive. They're well coached. But, that is true. I think his average age is 23 years old. So you got a bunch of experienced dudes and that are playing great football.
But you've got Miami. He's got some older kids, and they've been around a while.
Well, Carson. I mean, Carson's in his 7th year of college with a COVID year and an injury and that. Quarterback, that makes a difference. I mean, look at, you see some of the younger. I don't know. I'd go to Mark Sanchez. I think he started 16 games at USC as a high draft pick. And it's like, you can tell if you don't have the experience of making those decisions faster and faster and faster. Peyton Manning wasn't Peyton Manning his rookie year, threw 30 some interceptions. You know what I always tell people, I'm like, listen, you have to figure out, it's like, okay, you're going to get better with experience. I mean, it doesn't matter what we're doing, whether we're cooking or whether we're playing football. Yeah. You get better with experience. And when you're playing quarterback, that decision is a lot of things in your head mentally that have to happen in 2 seconds. Yeah. And, that compounded knowledge that you have, it's stuff that you're taught over time. And it's just accumulation. I mean, Phillip Rivers coming back at 44. Why was he able to do it? Because his compounded knowledge in that system, he was like, I can go in and operate and do that. And
that just it blows my mind. I mean, it still blows my mind. He's been coaching. He's older, and your body and all the hits he's taken and all that. I mean, a 44-year-old in football, as long as he's played, is like a 60-year-old. So, it's crazy.
I helped out Aria's old high school because one of my teammates' son was a receiver. So I helped out the quarterbacks this year. All I did was work on drops and that. And then the kid, some of them knew who I was, and some of, I think a lot of them didn't. So then I'd start throwing with them, and then I'd start feel good, whatever, and then I'd try to pull one hard, throw a fastball. I'm like, ooh, that either didn't feel good on my elbow, it didn't feel good on my shoulder. And,
it's not the same anymore. I went and Gwen was getting me, I did this ABA contract thing 2-day up in Herkimer, New York. And I go, Gwen, I'm shooting fine. And so she goes, you got to go really train. And she goes, then you got to run. Our son Adrian kept going, Dad, you got to run some wind sprints. You got to da-da-da. And I'm going like, okay. So I go out there and I go 55, 120 from 3-point land on the shooting machine. And I was moving pretty fast early, but I did get tired. So I slowed the machine down a little bit to like 5 or 6 seconds. And I was shooting great. And I said, okay, I'm fine. And so by the time I got there at the end of the week, I could feel what's going on with my elbow. At the end of the point where I was at Walgreens before the first game, I had lidocaine patches, arm sleeves, and then I couldn't, it got to the point where I couldn't fit, my elbow wouldn't straighten out. And I was trying to push it off and I was like, this is awful. And so I was hurt for 2 months before my brother Freddie came home and shot me up, and now I'm feeling a little better. But how do you get hurt shooting? I mean, like, I shot my whole life, but it's age. I would say even when we're not old, it's a what do they call it, repetitive injury? Because I can remember I might have been in college at the time, and going back to my high school, and I was good friends with our baseball coach, and I threw some batting practice. And I'm just, you're just throwing toss. Some guys can rip the ball. And the next day, my left butt cheek hurt. And I'm like, why does my butt hurt? From picking up my leg like I was a pitcher. Just that unbelievable. Well, let's take a quick break so we can heal. Visit Mississippi.org. It's waiting for you. I'm Steve Azar with the great Gino Toretta.
$20,000 available for first-time home buyers. Hey folks, Steve Azar here. Helping is the heart of our friends at Guarantee Bank. They offer programs like the Home Buyer Equity Leverage Partnership Grant that can assist qualified first-time home buyers with up to $20,000 towards down payment and provide home ownership counseling to empower you on your journey. These funds are first come, first served. Learn more about this program and to apply now, go to gbtonline.com. Guarantee Bank, member FDIC.
Listen and watch all your favorite SuperTalk Mississippi shows live and on demand. Listen to tons of music. Plus, get the latest breaking news from across the state with the SuperTalk Mississippi app. The SuperTalk Mississippi app. Download the SuperTalk app on your iPhone or Android device now for free. Just search SuperTalk Mississippi in your app store on your mobile device to get everything Mississippi all in one place. The SuperTalk Mississippi app. Get it now. In a Mississippi Minute with Steve Azar, right here on SuperTalk Mississippi.
Gino Toretta is a dear friend of mine, and back in the day, we didn't like him, us Notre Dame fans. My parents were like, we can't stand him. And then when everybody got to realize he was like family, and now they love him, they pray for him, and it is difficult. It got difficult for my mom and dad to ever pull against Gino Toretta in anything in life after that, after they got to know him. If they would have known you, Gino, when you were in college, they would have had to go to church and have come to Jesus, because they were struggling after they got to know you. They said, he is the finest young man. I said, y'all couldn't stand him when he was, But anyway, let's talk about the deal. You got 12 teams that get in, and obviously 2 of the teams, with all due respect, Tulane and James Madison, they didn't fit. There's no way. They did not fit. Doesn't happen. In basketball, you got 64 teams, and you and I both know that you can get a hot shooter, you can get some kids that are older and wiser like we've seen, and you can have these upsets, but they're not going to win it all. The bottom line is you got 12 teams right now, and even if you had 16, There's no way 16 with the way they got it or 12 with the way they have it is going to win the national championship. To me, it was a waste. You know how I feel about Notre Dame. They were averaging over 30 points a win after they lost to Miami and Texas A&M by 3 and then by 1 by a botched extra point. The bottom line is they deserved it more than Oklahoma. Now, I'm sorry, all my Oklahoma guests that are listening right now. I'm sorry, you guys did not deserve to go. You're 0-5, and every time you've been there or been to the previous BCS stuff, and your team was not good enough this year, and I'm going to tell you Notre Dame would have wiped them off the planet. What do you I never was a question with Miami. Even we were all saying, Miami beat Notre Dame at the beginning of the year. I don't care if it's tomorrow, yesterday, whatever. You beat them, you're in. The whole thing went weird. So how do you feel it needs to be to get the best 12 in or the best 16 when they go? And what happens to those guys in the room making these rules up? Because it's crazy.
Well, I would say this. I think the expansion, I think there should be more. I think they should go to 16.
Me too.
And I think with this year, 12 teams in the playoff, and really there weren't 12 teams that could win a championship. And I think that's a disservice to the college fan. And I think that if there's an opportunity, I get including the group of 5 having a representative. Okay, we're gonna have one, and that's what it's going to be, because it's just it's just different. I mean, you can see the personnel from top to bottom versus the Power 5 schools versus the the Power 4 versus non-Power 4. So I think that, to me, is, you expand it to 16. Then you're still going to have number 17 is going to be disappointing. But, we got to expand it, figure that out. I think accelerate it. I think that this dragged out part at the end of the year, having a national championship the 19th of January. You had a situation with Ole Miss where their head coach is basically leaves and goes to LSU, and they're in the playoffs. I don't think is right. The kids are going in the transfer portal as the playoffs are going on.
It's crazy, Gino, the timing of it all too, right?
Yeah. And that's where I think that, when I came out, it was the first Wednesday of February, was signing day for high school kids. To me, if you commit to a school, if you go to a school, I think you should have to go there for 2 semesters. I think you should have to go there for fall, and I think you should have to go there for spring. And that's how it should be. Jimbo Fisher's got some ideas, some other coaches. Move the season up. Week 0 becomes week 1, and we don't have we don't have the conference championship games. If you expand to 16, do we really need the conference championship games? The only game that the conference championship game mattered this year was the Big 12, and it knocked BYU out. They didn't care who won or lost the SEC game, because Alabama got Georgia got the floor with them. Yeah. And they didn't go anywhere. They didn't get knocked out, but BYU gets knocked out. So expand to 16. The hard part is, are you going to replace that money from the conferences and the conference championship?
They're making plenty of money now.
See, I know that, and you know that. There's a way to do it, and it's like if the group of 5 team, have a group of 5 playoff. Is that better to have like a group of 5 playoff, or basically scrape off? I don't know. What's the Big Ten getting? $2 billion. The SEC's getting $4 billion. I mean, it's a B after the number, it's a lot of money, and I think they can figure it out. But to me, is expand the playoffs, get rid of the conference championship games. The calendar's got to be changed with this transfer portal. And if the season's over on January 1, there wasn't a better day in the world when we were growing up than January 1st as a football fan, because at least me on the West Coast, I woke up in the morning, and from 9 in the morning to midnight, I watched the best and biggest college football bowl games.
And then you were done.
And the season was over. And then you can have, Lane Kiffin move to a different school. And then you can have the transfer portal open at that point in time. And then you can move the signing date for kids back to February, and do that. But, it's going to take somebody to lead the organization, because, the organization, it's like, I can't remember the movie. I don't know if it's Stripes or, we've identified the enemy and the enemy is us. I mean, that's basically what it is. It's like the school presidents are the ones in charge of this, and they complain about it. But okay, we'll figure it out.
It's crazy.
There's got to be, to me, college football, this is one of the things I think college football is the best. It's a regional sport with national appeal. Ole Miss, the Egg Bowl has a national appeal, but that's a regional event.
Right.
The Iron Bowl.
Hell, it's not even regional. It's closer than regional, right?
The Iron Bowl is a regional event. Miami, Florida State. That's it's an event in Florida, Alabama, Texas A&M. That's in Texas.
Yeah.
USC, UCLA is in California, but we care about it.
But we all grew up loving those games. I mean, we bought into that because they were big games for us too down here.
And that's where I just think that, to me, the whole SC, UCLA, Oregon, Washington being in the Big Ten.
The Big Ten is strange.
Traveling to Maryland. If it's regional, let's keep it regional.
Hey, Gino, wait a minute though. It's just not one sport. You got to do it in all sports.
Oh, no. Yeah, I'm just saying for football, and even it should be for all of the sports.
Yeah, but I'm saying think about traveling that far with time zone differences.
No question. Have it regional. Go back to regional. Let's say there's the college football West Coast, the college football Midwest, college Southwest, and East Coast, and you have a scheduling body just like the NFL does. Mm-hmm. The NFC Central is playing the AFC South. They set the schedule, and you go out and play.
Yeah.
And you still have, you're not forcing, Cal and Stanford being in the ACC. Like I see the kids, like you're talking other sports. Like I saw the tennis team in Miami Airport. And I started talking to a girl at Stanford, and I'm like, oh, I grew up out there. What are you guys doing here? And she's like, well, we just played Miami in tennis, and we're going to Florida State to play tennis. I was like, oh, I forgot you guys are in the ACC. I mean, that's just torture. You can't expect them to get a degree and go to class.
But they're going. Wait.
I guess
there's college.
Class.
There's school involved in this thing now.
Well, I guess they Zoom class but yeah, it's. To me, it's a regional sport with national appeal.
Yeah,
and I think that we've lost sight of that. It's not the NFL. It's not just major metros. There's only 32 teams in the NFL, and there's 130 something in the Power Four. It's just it's not the same. And but still, we can all complain, but it was probably this season was the most exciting regular season in college football.
Extremely exciting, but we just got to shorten it a little bit and get to the point. Visit Mississippi.org. There's a point there. Travel around your state. We're the birthplace of America's music, for goodness sake. We're with Gino Torretta, Heisman Trophy winner, and every other award except for the one that he couldn't show up at now that we found out. And that makes no sense. But we'll be right back with my pal Gino.
Out here, what I say goes, 'cause I'm the coach. I'm the coach.
Up to $20,000 available for first-time home buyers. Hey folks, Steve Azar here. Helping is the heart of our friends at Guarantee Bank. They offer programs like the Home Buyer Equity Leverage Partnership Grant that can assist qualified first-time home buyers with up to $20,000 towards down payment and provide home ownership counseling to empower you on your journey. These funds are first come, first served. Learn more about this program and to apply now, go to gbtonline.com. Guarantee Bank, member FDIC.
Listen and watch all your favorite SuperTalk Mississippi shows live and on demand. Listen to tons of music. Plus, get the latest breaking news from across the state with the SuperTalk Mississippi app. The SuperTalk Mississippi app. Download the SuperTalk app on your iPhone or Android device now for free. Just search SuperTalk Mississippi in your app store on your mobile device to get everything Mississippi all in one place. The SuperTalk Mississippi app. Get it now.
We've sent that rip band.
We're all alone in the river and I don't know whether I'm sinking or swimming with you. It's you and me together, yeah, I don't know better. I'm sinking or swimming with you. Take the anchor off, baby. Cut the rope off my feet. Why don't you love me like you mean?
This man played big in his day. Oh my goodness, number 13. I used to hate him and now I love him. It didn't take me long to love him. After meeting him on the golf course around Destin, Florida is when we met. And we've been, many years ago, we've been pals ever since. Back in his day, we used to do his charity event. Gino Tread is my guest today. Visit Mississippi.org. Follow the Blues Trail markers. You're going to end up in Liverpool. I'm telling you, there's 200 and something of them. Gino, we got to get to prediction time now. Okay, then
right, hold on.
Listen.
I got an update on the steakhouse. Anthony's Market in West Point, Mississippi.
I told you West Point or Columbus. So Anthony's Market.
Anthony's Market.
Cajun ribeye.
Cajun ribeye was the best food that the SEC.
Well, this is Azar that said that.
This is Azar and Stinchcomb. They endorse it, and they're good for it. Come on, any offensive lineman, you take.
Yeah, he knows how to eat steak.
You know.
So wait a minute. So this is in West Point.
Yeah.
And so you haven't been there yet.
I haven't been there. I haven't been to.
Because you can't get out of Como's.
When I go to Stark Vegas, I go into Memphis and stop
go to Como.
Exactly. Go to Como's on the way down.
Rachel and Chuck's baby girls. Remember, they ran the place.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. So shout out to Rachel and Chuck, by the way. Chuck's, Guarantee Bank's one of my big sponsors and also dear friends of mine, all of them from head to toe for many years. So, their daughters, when we were at Como, they were so sweet and they're all grown up now. It's crazy. So, Gino, we got to get to prediction here, and your prediction's obviously going to be in the past because you're going to be a week or two later. Before they played Pittsburgh.
They weren't the first two. They've done whatever they've needed to do.
Exactly, but don't you think they've really gotten better as the year's gone on? Because by the time they got to Pittsburgh, the 2 or 3 games before, when they got through their little bitty rough spot, and then they started to get on it, they've been pretty steady scoring. Like you said, just enough, whatever it takes. Yeah. They can score a lot. They can score in the middle, but they just seem to be. And look, they won a bunch of games in a row.
The first 2 games, Carson Beck, against A&M, he threw for 108 yards. In the second game against Ohio State, 138. I mean, that is a recipe. Normally, you get beat.
Yeah.
And then we go to Ole Miss, and we had to throw more. He made some clutch throws, and then a great drive at the end after.
I felt like whoever had the ball last was going to win. I said, I
got nervous because I seen Chambliss before, and I'm like, get on us and did it to us right at the end of the game. But I think it's going to be a great matchup. It's going to be more of an NFL, just one of those slobber knockers where both teams are pounding on each other. Is not a lot of give and take.
Home field going to matter?
Steve, I would say this based on where the ticket prices have been until. I think that there's going to be more Indiana fans in that stadium than Miami fans.
Why? I mean, all you do is leave your house and go a few miles away, and you're there.
Because cash is green, and a few $1,000s sways some people to say, "I'll sit at home and watch it on the big screen." That's what I would say because it's been epic. It's been harder to get tickets to this game, I would say, than any game I've ever been associated with. The prices are what the 2019 or the Super Bowl when the Niners and the Chiefs played here. Parking passes are going for a few $1,000s.
Oh, come on.
I'm right outside the stadium. Passes are going for almost $3,000.
What about, are you going to be on the field?
I think I'm going to go down there to do some stuff for Sirius pregame, but I think I don't like watching a game from the field because I can't analyze it.
Because you want to dress out. Because you want to put your shoulder pads on.
No, hell no. I can't see. I like seeing the all 22 as a quarterback. and all 22 is just the camera angle where I can see all 22.
So you're going to go back up?
I want to know what they're doing, so I think I'm gonna go up in a box.
And y'all are going to be calling the game? You're going to be calling it?
No. That's how I watch any game. That's why. I got you. That's why I normally don't go to games. Yeah. Unless I'm broadcasting it, because I watch a game like I'm watching game film and be like, okay, this is what they should be doing. This is what they did. Why aren't they doing this? And come on, I'm best armchair quarterback in the world.
You're both. You get to be armchair now, but you were when your time, you were the best there ever was. It's so interesting that you like it that way. I love to be on the field. I love to feel it all and all that. When I do all the anthems, they always let me stay out there, and I was like, man, this feels good. Well, we've had enough time. It's all said and done. You predicted Miami. People are going to go, man, Gino's smarter. He's not. One or the other. I appreciate you taking the time, pal. You're the best.
Anytime.
Gino Torretta, former Heisman Trophy winner. Do I need to list the Walter Camp Award, the Maxwell Award, the Johnny Unitas Award, the Chick Harley Award? I always want to say Chic because I don't know why. Maybe because Gwen chops a lot and I see the word. It changes the way it looks. And one award that he was going to get, but he didn't show up, so he didn't get it. So there you go. Visit Mississippi.org, award-winning state, hallowed ground. Check it out. Take a road trip. I'm going to take Gino to play Dancing Rabbit soon at Pearl River Resort. He'll be blown away. Blessings, everybody. I'm Steve Azar.
I'm Steve Azar. In a Mississippi Minute, all 60 of them, where you can take your sweet time.
Listen and watch all your favorite SuperTalk Mississippi shows live and on demand. Listen to tons of music. Plus, get the latest breaking news from across the state with the SuperTalk Mississippi app. The SuperTalk Mississippi app. Download the SuperTalk app on your iPhone or Android device now for free. Just search SuperTalk Mississippi in your app store on your mobile device to get everything Mississippi all in one place. The SuperTalk Mississippi app. Get it now. Your home. A SuperTalk Mississippi Media production.